Hello and welcome to Emanuel Echo, our school podcast to tell you a little bit about aspects of life at Emanuel for current and prospective parents and pupils. Emanuel Echo. My name is Stuart Turner, I'm one of the deputy heads here, and today we're going to be talking about life in the Sixth Form and particularly admissions into the Sixth Form. I'm joined by four different guests: Nick, Matilda from year 12, the lower sixth, and Mrs. Carpenter-Merritt and Miss Parks, head of admissions. So hello everybody, how are we today? I hope you're well. Nick, tell us a little bit about yourself and your favourite thing about Emanuel School.
Well, hello sir. I think my favourite thing's probably the cafe in Emanuel. A wonderful hub of activity in the school, and I quite enjoy going there on a daily basis.
Yeah, very good. Pizza from 9 a.m, fantastic. And Matilda, welcome to our podcast.
Thank you. So I'm Matilda, and my favourite thing about the school is that it's very well rounded, it's very good academically, and it has a lot of sports available and seems like a very complete school.
Brilliant, thank you very much indeed. And Mrs. Carpenter-Merritt, acting head of Sixth Form.
Thank you. So I would, however cliche that this sounds, I would say the students are my favourite part of Emanuel. So in my role, I only work with Sixth Form students. I'm sure students lower down in school are as lovely, but I just think the relationships that you can have with the students when they come into Sixth Form are much stronger. The students are more mature and you just can learn more about them, their interests, and it just makes every day more enjoyable.
Very good, thank you very much. And Miss Tammy Parks, head of admissions.
I would have to say that my favorite thing in my role in here at Emanuel School is having the opportunity to work with prospective pupils, current pupils, staff, and parents. It's very rare that you get a chance to work with all of those different elements at a school, and my job allows me to do so.
We are going to hear a little bit about life in the Sixth Form day to day and some of the broader experiences that our pupils have. But first of all, thinking specifically about how to gain a place at the school in Sixth Form, Miss Parks, can you run us through some of those key elements, please?
Absolutely. So we are actually going to kick off the season with an open event that you're more than welcome to attend in July. More information will be on the website. We will then open registration at the end of May with it closing in mid-October. During that time, we are going to ask for additional information along with give you the opportunity to apply for any scholarships that we have on offer. Students will then come to Emanuel School to sit assessments in November, also do any sort of audition or trial for a scholarship, and we will then invite those who are successful back to do an interview.
So once you've had your offer and you've had your tea and talk event, so that's where you've spoken to a senior member of staff and you've asked any question about the options that you've chosen. You also get to know more about the students that are joining you, and then you have your induction in June. So once that's all over and done with, you then start in September. You come in for a day before all the other students come in, and so that's your induction in September. After that, you also have an integration day. And so this is probably, and you can ask the students, this is probably one of the most exciting way to start the academic year. So you're off timetable for half the day for team building activities. And then we have the huge integration quiz hosted by yours truly. And so we all go into the Hampden Hall, which is our main hall in the school, and you're in random teams. So you get to know students in the year above and other students within your year group. You will find that everyone in Sixth Form is rather competitive, and it is a really fun event.
So let's focus a little bit more on the pupil experience of the school. So we've got some questions here which have come to us via social media. Thank you very much to those of you who have been looking at our Instagram page and have put these questions forward. So Matilda, can I turn to you first and ask you what elements did you consider when choosing a Sixth Form, and what made you choose Emanuel?
I looked at quite a few Sixth Forms. I looked at 10 in total actually. And a lot of what I was looking at was how the atmosphere of the school and the academics and how well-rounded it was. And I found at Emanuel a lot of it, they have a good balance between sport and academics, and other things apart from just like grades and the success of the school itself.
Good. We'll just go back. So you went to 10 different schools. So 10 different open events.
10.
Okay.
I was so tired. A full-on November of year 11.
Very good, very good. I don't think it's necessary to attend.
Maybe.
10, absolutely, but that's very good. I mean, you must have experienced some nice biscuits, if nothing else, from all those different schools. That's good to say. Nick, did you apply to 10 schools?
No, actually, I think
right.
I applied to about 3. But
3,
Manual
okay.
was definitely my first choice.
Okay, that's good to hear. That's good. Why was it your first
all right.
choice?
Well, my old school's quite small. It didn't really have as much connection, I think. It didn't have the facilities. It didn't have like the size that Emanuel has, I think. Emanuel unlocks a lot in terms of what it has to offer to its pupils. You know, you've got the Bowhouse in Barnes, some absolutely amazing equipment there. You've got fantastic rooms like this recording centre we've got here. I think it's quite an impressive school to be a part of, and I think because I live in Putney, we're quite local, so it's just, you know, it's around, and I think.
One of the things I think that lots of people would like to know the answer to, when you're joining a new school in sixth form, how easy is it to make friends?
At Emanuel, it was very, very easy. It was quite a smooth process. I think the integration day, which Miss Carpenter-Merritt was mentioning, has given me friends which I'm probably the closest with right now. It's really a good bonding experience, I think. Along with that, the school's core sports teams where you can, you know, go around to pre-seasons, get to know people before you come to the school. It's a real nice basis for what you do. I personally went to rowing pre-season before the school actually started, so I had a few people that I knew in the year group and the year above, and I found that quite useful. So I think taking an initiative, trying to go out of the way a bit more, you know, putting yourself out there will easily get you a lot of friends, and I think school does try to help you through that process.
Yeah, that's brilliant. That's good. And both of you have mentioned sport there, and I guess it's worth saying as well that the same would be true if you were part of the music department or any of the drama department activities, or indeed anything else that's going on. Okay, so the next question that's come to us: how did you prepare to join Emanuel School?
The teachers that we've met on the induction day, they gave us a few summer tasks, but it was a very manageable amount. I think the biggest task I had was to read a book, and which took a while, but it was quite an easy read. And yeah, obviously the basics. Went out and bought some suits.
Okay, so that summer work, that was from each of your different A-levels. Which A-levels are you studying?
Spanish, psychology and economics.
Very good. And an EPQ as well?
Yeah.
Okay,
EPQ.
what's your, that's the extended project qualification. What's your EPQ on?
It's on feminism, so it's how the success of the third and fourth wave feminism.
Very good, fantastic. And Nick, are you doing an EPQ?
Yes, actually.
What are you doing your EPQ on?
Whether Thatcher was successful in a quelling of the IRA during the Troubles.
Nick, what did you do to prepare yourself for joining the school in sixth form?
Well, I looked at the work that we were set by the teachers, by the subject teachers as well. I think that was a very useful way of getting us into the mindset of joining the school. Other thing I did is I thought about my sports choices, because I thought I want to be in a team sport. So as I mentioned before, I went to the rowing pre-season, which was a really good basis. And I think if you're able to do something like a pre-season or a preschool exercise before the school term begins, it really gives you that nice foundation when you join. I think it's a good preparation for what to expect. In quite a lot of aspects. You get to know quite a lot of people. The other thing I think I probably did was also buy suits, because I didn't have any of those. Okay.
How does Emanuel School support you in the things that you are doing? And I think what the question is being asked here is that might be different to the younger years when you're at your previous school. You know, how does the sixth form team help you with what you're doing?
I think for me in my previous school, I'm just going to compare it because I think that's the most effective way of doing. I think in my previous school there wasn't that much structure as we get here. I think the structure of this school and the mechanisms that we get, like, you know, you've got a very clear way of homeworks, checking how that works, checking how that happens. I think we've got a good reward system. Obviously we've got an effective system for dealing with when we're not so good, but I think the school's systems are able to support you in a way that you know what you need to do to improve, but also what you're doing well, and you know you can reflect back on that.
Okay, very good. And Matilda, any thoughts on the ways in which you've been supported by the sixth form team or any of your teachers?
Yeah, I think the main thing I'd say about the support is the communication that you can have with the teachers. I think all the teachers that I've had, like, you're able to say how you think you can improve or how what you'd rather. The feedback is very strong here at Emanuel, and you can always give feedback through a survey, or there's constantly the student's voice is like incorporated into how things run, and things can easily change depending on how the students feel. So the student council, you can have any concerns or requests, and that will be listened to through that.
A critical part of the sixth form journey is thinking about the next steps in university. How do the pupils and students get supported through that journey at the school?
So all the sixth form students have a form tutor. So in each form there's around 15 or 16 students. The form tutor will be the main person that will talk to the student about what they might want to do after Emanuel, whether that's university, apprenticeship. And then there's also the sixth form team. And so within the sixth form team we've got our Director of Higher Education, Mr. Hand, who oversees all of the UCAS applications and overseas applications as well. And we've got Miss McLean, who is our Head of Careers, who is very, very busy with the students. She's rarely in her office by herself, and that's just because the students want to go and speak to her, ask her advice and get some guidance on work experience or other things that they might want to do after university. And so each form group then has a UCAS supervisor, and so they will check through UCAS forms before they get sent off to UCAS.
Ms. Parks has a new role coming down the line. She's going to be looking after careers in the school with a special focus on supporting those who would like to make applications to US universities. Ms. Parks, do you want to tell us a little bit more about that?
Absolutely. We are finding not only in the UK but all over the world there is quite a growing interest of students going to the US for university. My role will be to help any Emanuel student who is interested in going to the US to do their university studies. The process is slightly different from UCAS, but the focus will be writing that personal statement, building your list, making sure you get references written, and also to help you realize what life would be like in the US. It's very different. University life in the UK and the US, there's definitely similarities, but some differences. And I will be here on hand to help parents and students bridge that gap and find the best fit for them.
Great. Very much. Very exciting. Have you guys any thoughts yet about what you might quite like to do when you get to the stage of university? Nick, you're nodding your head. What is it you're going to do?
Yes. I've actually thought this for a long time because my dad went to UCL, so I was quite determined to go to UCL and study a politics and international relations course. I was thinking of a career in law, so I found the careers team to be very, very helpful with this.
Are you going to be going to the US?
No.
Oh, okay.
I'll be staying here.
Matilda, any thoughts yet?
Yeah, I think I'm interested in doing an economics business degree with a year abroad. I'm looking at lots of different universities, mainly Russell Group universities.
One thing that all sixth form students are asked to do during their time at the school is complete the Emanuel Award. Mrs. Carpenter-Merritt, would you like to tell us a little bit more about the Emanuel Award and how that works?
Absolutely. So we are actually reaching the first year where our cohort has gone through the Emanuel Award. So we have our very exciting graduation event on Friday where all of our upper sixth students will receive their scroll, their certificate for completing the Emanuel Award. So the Emanuel Award is basically a programme that all students will do over the course of the 2 years. At the main core of the Emanuel Award is the academic. So that's, your reason that you're here. But we also look at your co-curricular, your community, thinking about how you can actually improve your experience at school. And then the well-being kind of encompasses all of that. So I strongly feel that happy students the results will be good. And so we just do our best to support the students in that. Every Friday, our lower sixth students take part in something called Primary Ambitions, and that's where they teach local primary school children. That would be evidence for the community element. So I think the students have all enjoyed taking part in the Emanuel Award, and it definitely helps with UCAS applications or applications to university to show that they are doing more than just the bare minimum of the academics.
one of the distinctive things that Lower Sixth Formers are involved in on a Friday afternoon here at Emanuel School is our Primary Ambitions programme. And this is one of the key focus areas of our community, an outreach programme that sees around about 300 pupils from local schools come onto the site for an hour every Friday, and they're taught by our Lower Sixth Formers in a variety of different lessons. So you guys, I think, are in the same group. Do you want to tell us a little bit about your experiences of Primary Ambitions?
Yeah, so we both do debating, and I find it really rewarding because we have a small class of about 20 students from different primary schools. We've had, I think, 3 so far, maybe 4. And we teach them debating skills, and they get to write their own speech or come up with their own point about a certain topic, which they can often choose. And they come up to the front of the class and deliver their speech. And yeah, it's very rewarding, and it's nice to see their confidence build throughout the term.
I think I agree with that. It's a very rewarding experience, I think, seeing how they change over the time. They really gain a sense of confidence, I think, from our debating course, just like specifically with ours. I think what happens at the start is you usually get pupils who are slightly more shy because it's quite a public speaking orientated event. I think we try to give them the skills that they need to be able to debate very effectively, publicly speak, stand up on the stage. Mr. Andrews is great at this. He got us to go to the chapel one day for the pupils to give their final speeches. And I think it was really, really rewarding to see some of the pupils who are maybe more quiet to really get out of their comfort zones. I think Primary Ambitions has a real effect on the local schools and the community that we have around. And I do think that it's a great programme that the school does.
So thank you very much indeed. That concludes our discussion for today. Thank you to Nick, to Matilda, to Miss Carpenter-Merritt and to Miss Parks for your contributions. As ever, do visit our website if there's any questions that you have for a little bit of follow-up, or indeed give us a call via Miss Parks and our admissions team. But for now, thank you very much everybody for being here.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank
Bye.
you. Bye.
Bye.